Hola, bom dia, and welcome to the Sunny Sourdough project. Today I'm actually at the local agricultural fair thing, learning about, well, as much as I can about agricultural stuff, because my Portuguese is quite bad. Been given a free cup of questionable wine from some man selling me some chorizo, and spend the next couple of hours here. Gonna go home, trim some more of my front garden. And yeah, I thought I'd just take a few shots because there's animals and plants and carrying it on, so enjoy. You see behind me, yes, there was some wine tasting and I was really good. I only had 3 wines. I did buy 1 bottle. It was really good. My favourite was, I think it's like 2.5 something. They're all local wines in this area, and that one was our high altitude wine, and I would highly recommend. Oh, by the way, I just realised I've got to say in this video I will have mosquito bites all along my nose. Apologies. I hate them too. I look ridiculous, but there we are. Bon dia everyone. I know I said I was going to come home and do some gardening yesterday, but actually where the nights are now getting shorter, by the time I got home it was quite dark, so I did not do any gardening yesterday. But as you can see out the window, it is actually quite a good day for gardening. There's a bit of cloud cover today and it's about 23 degrees, so it's quite cool. So I'm going to try and get out this afternoon. Again, we still need to do the front of the house. That's taking ages because it's just like a big maze of brambles and vines. Obviously down here we've got loads of stuff that needs to go, but I think I need a hand with that. That'll be something that happens when Carlos is living with us here. That's quite a big job to get started on. I do also want to start making some beds to get the veg garden in, the winter veg garden. I'm kind of thinking down this spot over here. It's in between a few trees, so it gets a little bit of coverage, but for the most part it does get some pretty good sun. So I think that'll be a pretty good spot to put them. Tell me what you think. Anyway, let's see if I can get onto that. I doubt it. Yeah. We'll see what we can get done. So whilst cleaning up the kitchen, the weather predictions decided to change and now it's raining, which may affect what I do for the rest of the day. But there are lots of jobs that need doing. I've got to try out the, what do you call it? I've got to try out the washing machine for the first time, so that will be entertaining. It is older than I am, so I think I'll do like a sort of quick towels wash, see how that goes, and then clothes wash, because I think it hasn't been used in a very long time. The living room is just an absolute bomb site from loads of the deliveries, so I can sort out that, and then hopefully the rain will stop, but we will see. In fact, I think it's already stopping. It may just be showers. We could get away with it. Plugging it in would be a good idea. Right, we have plugged her in. I should just turn that. No. Ah! Last time the guy just turned this. Why are you not working? Right, so we want it on 5. Do you pull it out? She lives! Okay, you pull it out. That wasn't that obvious. And I can see water is definitely coming in. Let's see how this goes. It's so old. Hilarious. So as you can probably hear, the rain is really coming down now. I've kind of put today now as a write-off. It's quite cold actually, and we still don't have our fires installed, so it's definitely a reminder that we need to get that done soon, because apparently December, January, February can get quite cold here, so we need to get that done ASAP. I think today we're just going to have to make a nice soup, flat pack some of the cardboard, ready to go into the bin, and publish this week's video. I've got quite good at using my makeshift kitchen. I now have my rice cooker back up here, and I've got really good, when I was living down south without a proper kitchen, learning how to use that to also make basically anything. So I think today I'm going to make a nice minestrone soup. We've got everything we need here. I just had some toast this morning, but yeah, the rice cooker will go on here. I've got lots of veg in the fridge and lots of cheese, so it's gonna be a cosy day in the covers. I think it is freezing, but I do have my nice new fluffy slippers. So cosy. It's really dark, sorry if it's all shaky. I also forgot to say, let me switch a light on. Ta-da! I also forgot to say that I did get this to work. Obviously I have nowhere to hang these, so I think this evening my clothes will be hanging around the entire house when I wash them. But yeah, wash these, they don't smell minging, there's no marks, so I think it's all good to go for washing my clothes, thank God. Although, as I said, nowhere to hang them, so that'll be interesting. So, as I can't get a lot done today, I thought maybe I'll show you how my cooking situation's working. I'm umming and ahhing between minestrone or like linguine, and I think linguine's gonna win because I am obsessed with pasta, especially like spaghetti linguine, and I haven't had any in ages. So still no oven. I mean, we have it, but it's not wired in. Electrician couldn't make it this weekend. Carlos is trying to get hold of him. Biggest lifesaver, if you ever have some sort of weird off-grid experience, or you're in the middle of getting things installed, like halfway through a kitchen, get yourself a rice cooker, because turns out you can cook anything in it. Plan is, boil spaghetti in here first, so bring your water up to boil and treat it like you normally would, then drain it, and then you make the sauce in here and just keep your pasta covered and warm whilst you make your sauce, and it'll be really good. Always use plenty of salt in your water. If you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. And I'm part Italian, so I should know. As per usual, I've made enough for 2 people, but I haven't really eaten properly today, so oops, maybe I'll eat it all. Anyway, proof that if you don't have a proper functional kitchen, you can still eat well. Maybe put half a ton of cheese on top. Oh, capers, peppers, onions. Banging, mate. Bon dear, everyone. Yes, my face is very red. There's a very good reason for that. I'll get onto it in a minute. So remember how it was rainy that day and I was like, oh, I don't feel quite myself. Turns out, wasn't hungover. I was genuinely ill. So this is actually a few days' time. And it's the last of the sunny days. I mean, the rain we had the other day is nothing compared to what we're getting, basically for the foreseeable future. So I got absolutely no gardening done because I was in bed. And yesterday, I went to go and hang out my clothes because we worked out that was working the other day. And what happens? The line to hang your clothes decides to break. So this morning I've been very busy, made an emergency trip for this lad, and also I knew I had to get sort of planting that I wanted done today. So I remember I still don't have a car. In my suitcase, there we go, my wheelie suitcase, I stuffed this bad boy 50 litres of compost inside of that, and somehow had to carry that onto the train, which was a total nightmare. Also got a few little bits that, like little bins and odd bits and pieces that I need, as well as enough food to stock for like a good 4 or 5 days, because the next 3 days are going to be absolutely horrendous. I've also got my winter veg. I think in here we've got some broccoli, I think it's leeks, and we also have some beetroot, and I got an extra thing of garlic so I can just plant that, because I noticed the garlic that was on sale was actually already starting to sprout, so I figured let's pop that in the ground. A massive thing of onions, so we won't be needing onions for the next 3 years. Spinach seeds are supposed to do really well here, and especially at this time of year. Red cabbage, carrots, you name it, we've got it. So that was my morning. Also, because I was ill, did not get very far with the recycling. As you can see, I am making piles and progress, but there's still so much left. And the one that the fridge came in, we're supposed to keep that for 15 days. And I forgot to move it under the cover when I wasn't very well. And therefore it has got completely soaked. But the fridge is working and all that, so it shouldn't be a problem. So today, we've got a few things that need to get done, because after today, I'm just going to be editing and doing indoor stuff. So the recycling, I think I'm going to leave as like the less important, you know, the bottom of the priority list, as I can sort of do that when it's raining. It's not too far to the bins, it turns out. I can just pop a raincoat on and walk up. So I would like to get that done today, but I don't know, I'm predicting I won't. As today, we are also getting, finally, the internet sorted. He did call me up and say, can I come now, when I was in Fundal. I said I'll be back, you know, around 1 o'clock, and he's going to call me when he's nearby, because this place is impossible to find unless you have like the actual coordinates. Also, the sofa that was supposed to take 3 to 4 days to arrive is finally arriving 2 weeks later from when I actually ordered it. So that's coming today between 4:30, 6:30. So I've got to go and make sure the gate is open, which I think it is, and then let people in, do that, clean, make my vegetable garden. It's going to be a busy day. And I'm still not 100%, so. One more thing I forgot to say. Remember how I was clearing the side of the house? Well, the vines are still dying off. Now yesterday, whilst I was ill, I thought I'd do some research and stuff, and it turns out if you trim them too early, it can make the sap bleed from it. So we don't want that to happen because it takes nutrients out of the plant, etc, etc. So we're going to wait till like December when it really dies back to get rid of the vines. But like I'd say 90% of the brambles have now gone, so we've got all of this area is clear. The roses are so much happier, they're coming out, as well as these other plants I never knew were there because they've just been buried. So, and then hopefully we can soon get some pretty plants growing in here as well. Let's go find where Mr. Internet Man is. Just stopping to have my lunch, and I thought I'll treat myself to some wine that I bought this morning. One thing I learnt about the local wine whilst I was at the farmers thing the other day. So if you see the grape there, Syria, I don't know how to pronounce it, but apparently this is one of the oldest local grapes. So I thought I'll try one of these, see what it's like. I did try one the other day and it was really nice, really sort of dry and light, which is like my favourite kind of wine. So yeah, and it says dry farming, so I'm interested to see what that is. And Beer Interior, that's the sort of region we're in. So I thought I'll give this a little go. Look at me learning about my wine. I need to, because we've got too many vines on here not to, so. It's a bit more yellow than I usually would expect, but not the best. I did have better the other day, but it's still pretty good. Still better than Tesco's anyway. I think that one was about €8, so it's a bit more expensive for Portugal. But it's an altitude wine as well, which I usually really like. Massive, massive earthworm. So, doesn't look that wide, but there's like a row of 3 there. So at least I can get those ones, like the actual sprouting ones in. And then depending on when the stuff gets delivered, I'll see if I can make another one for the seeds. But it is looking like I won't be able to because the internet has turned up late, the sofa guys turned up late. Yeah, I'm gonna get some compost and gonna put that into the soil, work it in with a good old fork, and then put me seedlings in. Stinky old manure. There we go, slow but it'll work. Come on. I should do it. There we go. That sort of worked in a bit. Oh, I am knackered, lads. And no, the sofa or the internet still haven't turned up, and it's like 6:30. Let's try and get this veg in. I'm not going to do any of the seeds, like the carrots or anything. I'll wait till next week when it stops raining. I'm just going to do the ones that literally need to get in the ground today, and hopefully they won't die, because it is going to rain a lot. So I am a little bit nervous. I know I shouldn't really do it, but there's no other chance. So these are going in the ground tonight. That's how it's happening. First off is broccoli. Okay, sorry if you cannot see me or if it's super shaky. In a rush to get everything in. I got all the seedlings in, so those won't die. I got a couple of garlics in as well, so. But I just got a call. The sofa is nearly here. Only, you know, 3 hours late. Running up that hill. Hola, bon dia. Charlotte from the future here. So I never actually ended up signing out of this video properly because what happened that evening was just pure chaos. What happened? We did get the furniture, we did get the internet sorted. When the sofa was delivered, obviously I ended up, you know, running up our driveway, which if you don't know is like a big steep hill like this. Going to wait by the turning because it's quite hard to notice. The turning into like our drive, where our actual driveway technically isn't on a main road, so it's quite hard to spot. So I walked all the way to the main road to wave down the people who were phoning me up saying, whereabouts is your house? And I was waiting there, and I basically watched this delivery truck drive past me several times whilst on the phone to me, but they couldn't see me because it was dark, and for some reason none of the lights switched on. My phone at this point had about 3% battery because they kept calling, and from like the top of the road you can actually see down towards the house, and I started seeing all these lights. So I ran back down the hill, towards the house, which is about, I don't know, it must be like nearly 500 meters away at this point, up a hill like this. And it turns out it was my neighbours who have walked across the track that runs next to our house and are saying that there's a delivery for us. They've tried to go to the neighbours. My neighbours, all the delivery drivers don't speak any English, and my Portuguese I'm still learning, and it's quite bad. But I thought we had explained to each other, send them up to where the driveway is, I'll let them in through the gate, but they just didn't do that. So I ran back up the hill, which again is 500 meters up like that. And then no one turns up. And then I start seeing all these lights again by the house, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? In between all this, I start getting another phone call from the guy who was supposed to fix the internet. He was on his way. He was just going to turn up at like 8 o'clock at night. And so he's going, can you speak to me, direct me where your entrance to your driveway is? And I was like, I'm really sorry, I'm in the middle of this nightmare delivery. Whilst I'm running back down to where the lights and stuff from the neighbours are again, it turns out they've taken our delivery through my neighbour's back garden, across the train tracks, like a whole sofa in the dark, across these train tracks, and they were waiting for me to let them in. But we do have a sofa and cutlery like we were planning. I'll pop a picture up because I've got one somewhere. But yes, we do have it. And the internet guy, again, couldn't find the entrance, had to run back up the hill one more time. He found me a lot easier, but he couldn't fix the internet that night because it was too dark by the time he got there, and he needed to install something on the outside of the house. It's quite steep. And then it rained solidly for a week, which is why I basically didn't film during that week. After the week was up, he eventually came back. We do now have proper working internet, so it's all sorted. But yeah, sorry I didn't sign out. It was just really chaotic and stressful. After I didn't get the internet sorted and knew I was basically going to be stuck indoors for a whole week because the storms were really, really mad, I was done. But it's all sorted now. We have internet and we have a sofa. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about the weird ending. If you like any more sort of farm content, feel free to subscribe, like the video as well, because it helps us out. And yeah, we will see you next week when we go to Porto, and we had a big surprise with our roof. So see you then.